The secret to losing belly fat.
Yes. 6-pack abs, gonna get ripped, shredded.
Are we?
No.
I really hope not, because that sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, like let's because this is what we're talking about today. The 6-packs, they are kind of cool. Like the abs, like they look good. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that they are overrated.
Yeah, okay.
Because they look good, but who really wants to do that all the time?
Yeah,
Right?
that's definitely like the risk, not the risk, the cost to reward ratio is kind of like, is it really worth it, and all the sacrifices you have to make to maintain a 6-pack?
Yeah, because if you're like us, which most people feel this way, I feel like, but you, even if you do think 6-pack abs are cool, like you don't want to give up pizza to have them. And I know we don't. So that's, but then again, on the other side, like you wouldn't, I know most people also wouldn't mind losing, you know, the little bit of extra, you know, gut that they have, just having a flatter stomach. Don't necessarily need to see the abs, but, you know, being a little bit more toned up.
Buttoning your pants without the struggle, or the muffin top flipping over. I mean, those are the real life goals that I'm aiming for.
Sure. Yeah.
Or I have achieved, and like that's a good sustainable goal for me.
And the problem is a lot of people, they do a bunch of exercises, ab and core exercises, or they even, you know, they do a diet and they lose some weight, but they still feel like, okay, I've still got more, you know, more jiggle in the middle, just a little.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, more than what they want. So why is that? What is that about?
Okay.
How do you actually lose belly fat? That's the secret we're gonna let you in on. So don't tell anybody.
Let's do it.
Or actually tell people. Share the video.
A little bit of our quirkiness this day.
Okay, so for the we're talking about the average person here. Obviously, we're not talking about someone who just wants to, you know, be super ripped. And the first thing I want to say is that I don't have a problem with anyone who is honest enough to admit that they would rather have a normal life and eat normal foods with their family and friends. Because like we said, we would rather have that too. Like I'd rather have a regular family pizza night than really chiseled 6-pack abs. So we get that. Now, it's not that pizza and 6-packs are mutually exclusive, especially if we're talking about like a 6-pack of beer, because that goes really great with pizza. That's
my sound effect.
It was Father's Day recently, so I can do dad jokes, right? We'll edit it out. The important thing is you just want to have realistic expectations. So, for example, those ripped models that you see on like the cover of fitness magazines or whatever, you know, the ones who have super crazy low body fat. Aside from the fact that those pictures are often very heavily photoshopped and aren't realistic in the first place, those models do go on really super strict diets where pizza is not allowed to just to look their very best for the day of that photo shoot.
Yeah.
Like even they aren't walking around every day looking exactly like that because they have to give up a lot to really get into that condition. So that's kind of one side of the extreme. Now, on the other hand, you've got people like me. I will use myself as an example because I am comfortable talking about myself.
That doesn't surprise us 4 minutes into this.
I'm going to ignore that. So me, on the other hand, I do not have a chiseled 6-pack. I do not want one. However, I am more lean. My abs look more defined right now than what they ever have in my entire life. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the reason why that's significant is because I still eat pizza. In fact, in just the past couple of weeks, I was kind of listing these things out, thinking about, okay, what all have I eaten? Besides just all the normal foods that we always eat, I have also eaten ice cream multiple times because I got ice cream for Father's Day, like a thing of it, and so I had that several times. We had a family pizza night where I ate half of the family pizza. We had a movie night where we had cookies, and I ate 6 chocolate chip cookies in one sitting during movie night. I've been eating sliced bread so often that Megan was complaining recently that we went through 2 loaves of bread way too fast and we ran out. So all of these things I've been eating while I've been maintaining this. And my point is, I wouldn't give up any of that in exchange for like a slightly less blurry set of abs. So I will settle for the treats and simply just having a toned waistline. I'm fine with that. But where I'm at might even be farther than what you're interested in, and that's fine too. You may be content not having, maybe don't want to be toned or see your abs at all. You just want to lose some inches, like what you were talking about earlier. Just even just to like be able to move more comfortably, to be active and comfortable playing with your kids, or just to have better control over your health. And that's where a lot of people land. It's like they're like, okay, somewhere in the middle. I still want to have all these things, but yeah, I'd like to, be have a little bit less in the belly area. And that is why, for the average person that we're talking about, the secret to losing belly fat and getting to that goal is actually a lot less complicated than what you think. So, the secret I'm breaking down into 2 parts.
Okay.
Number 1.
Magic pill. Just kidding.
No. So you might hope that there's some exercise that I would say, okay, go and do this. Like do these core, I see these advertised all the time, like do these core exercises to get ripped abs and whatever. And unfortunately there is no ab exercise in the world that will do that for you, that's what the first part of the secret is. There's no number of sit-ups, crunches, planks, twists, kicks, those old-timey gyrating belts.
They have new-timey ones too.
Do they really? Yeah. So none of that will cause you to lose belly fat any faster. And that concept is actually true for any part of your body where you have stubborn fat. You can't do arm exercises to lose fat in your arms. You can't do leg exercises to lose fat in your thighs.
I can't tell you how many medicine ball V sit-ups I did trying to lose belly fat.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. The truth is you're going to lose weight where you lose it, and everyone's body is different, but unfortunately belly fat is often one of the slowest areas to go. So, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do ab exercises. That's not the point either. It's good to have a strong core, and your abs are a very small part of your core. So you should do some core exercises, but you don't need like the tons of the 30-minute ab routine at the end of a workout. You don't need a full workout just for abs. Even just doing a couple sets of a core exercise in your workout, that's going to be plenty. But remember, you are not doing it to lose belly fat. So that is part 1 of the secret, is that it's not from losing belly fat is not from doing core or ab exercises. Part 2.
Okay. Super dangerously low calorie diet.
No. However, so this is where losing belly fat is like, it's the only thing that actually does it. It all comes down to your diet. And specifically, you need to be in a calorie deficit.
Yes.
Not extreme, that's not what we're saying here, but you do have to be in deficit. It will be impossible to do it. Now, the fact that, just having a healthy, better diet, the fact that helps you lose fat, that's not really much of a secret. I get that. But what is more kind of secret-ish is that the actual process for losing inches, what that is, like around your midsection, losing those inches, that's what I'm going to get into now. And just with exercise, there isn't some magical, mystical nutrition tip for busting belly fat. There isn't a specific diet that's going to target fat better than another one.
There's not a single food that is going to burn fat faster than any other.
No, and avoiding any specific food is not going to help you either. And there isn't a supplement that will speed up the process. The real trick...
Never mind, keep going.
The real trick is just time. It just takes time. Since belly fat tends to be some of the most stubborn fat on the human body, the first few pounds that you lose while you're losing weight, that's not going to do the trick. You're not going to lose several pounds and have it all come off of your belly. You might lose a little bit, but more than likely it's going to take longer before you start seeing those results. Now, the good news is, since losing belly fat is literally all about just time and being consistent, once you do find a program that's doable for the normal everyday person with a real life, that's when losing belly fat becomes a guaranteed part of the process.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is, you don't need some big mystical secret. It's just this. It's just the time and the effort and finding something realistic, and then it will happen. It's going to happen, but you have to be able to stick with it.
Yeah.
You can still have your family pizza nights. You can spend less time in the gym than a lot of people think they need to do, and ultimately have more energy to keep up with your kids while you're doing it. In fact, ultimately, you can sacrifice only as much as what's realistic for you to still be able to enjoy your life, and then you just stick with that program, which should be easier to stick with if it's something that's truly realistic for you.
So like, you're here, so you want to be somewhere trimmer down here, but what you know and what you see is like the super strict diets, chicken and broccoli, it's miserable. So you got to find some in between that feels like you can keep going and isn't dangerous and miserable, but there is a sweet spot where you can actually see results, and if you give it time.
Yep, and whether you personally choose, like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more strict about it. I'm fine with not having cookies quite as often or whatever, because I do want to see my abs a little bit more. Or you're on the other side and you're like, no, I'm fine with losing a couple inches and being done with it, and that's okay. You can make those decisions and change them as you go. We've had plenty of clients who are like, I'm only going to lose a little bit, and then they're doing it and they're like, this is easier than I thought, so I'm going to keep going. You can find that middle ground that Megan's talking about, and whether that's up here for you or down here for you, you'll figure that out, and it's easier with help. Which brings us to the last step with all of this. So I realize that what we've been sharing here is not fully a secret in like the literal sense of the word. We're still talking about diet and exercise.
I was going to rephrase it real quick as more of a misconception in the weight loss industry that you have to be super strict and do ab exercises and be miserable to reach your goals. And so the secret is the misconception that that's the process to get there.
Yeah, and really it's kind of like more of just an inconvenient fact. Because I think people generally know this, but if you're not thinking about it because you don't want to think about it, it sure is easier to just go to the gym and do a bunch of crunches.
Yeah.
And go, I'm doing something, hopefully this works. And then when it doesn't, like, well, whatever, you didn't actually put that much thought into it in the first place. So, that is easier than actually spending some time learning how to eat a little bit better and how to do it consistently, so it's a habit that you can then carry on and continue for the rest of your life. So yes, ultimately it's about time, and it takes that time for the belly fat specifically to come off. And if you try to do it too quickly, like if you try to speed up this whole process, all that's going to happen is you're going to start back right where you were in the first place. You'll gain all the weight, all the fat back. In fact, more than likely you'll gain even more back. But that doesn't mean you have to go slow. And so this is what I wanted this last step that I want to talk about, is that if you have the right plan and you can find that middle ground like what Megan was talking about, then you can get noticeable results. Like, we're not talking about months and months and months. In about 60 days, you should be able to see, this is working for me. I have proof that what I'm doing is easy enough, that it feels good to me, it's realistic, I'm still enjoying my life. But yeah, I have started losing some belly fat. And yeah, it's gonna take a little bit longer for more to come off, but like I said, this is easy, so I'm gonna keep doing it. In 60 days, we guarantee that you can do that with our coaching. But the question is, what does this plan consist of? And this is where you need to be able to answer the following 3 questions. So number 1 is, what sort of workout routine is going to be realistic for your specific goals and your schedule, just your overall lifestyle, your routine. Number 2, what type of foods and meals are going to give you the best results based on your family's needs and preferences. Because, you know, we could just say, eat this, but your family might hate that. So what's actually going to work for you guys? Maybe you have allergies, maybe you just have picky eaters. That's question number 2. Then question number 3 is, what one thing could you change right now to get the biggest results right away so that you can see that this is working and then you're going to have the motivation to continue on? If you can answer those 3 questions, you're well on your way toward finding a path that's going to work for you to lose belly fat. And those are the 3 questions that we specifically can answer for you if you hop on a free call with us to get your personalized 3-step roadmap to weight loss. So we will just ask you some questions, kind of figure out where you're at, where your struggles are, what your needs are and your goals are, and then we'll give you that free personalized 3-step roadmap so that you know what to do moving forward, what it's going to take. And then you can decide, you know, okay, I can do this, I'm gonna figure this out on my own, or we can help you with it. You can hire us, we'll coach you through it. There's not any pressure either way, but at the end of it, you're still gonna walk away with that roadmap. So that is what I recommend for your last step, because even though all of this is very simple, it takes work figuring it out on your own. Yeah. And we've gone through that process already ourselves and with our other clients. Yeah. So this is something that we can make easy for you if that's what if you're ready to lose belly fat for sure and have guaranteed results. We are here for you. If you have any questions on any of this, send us a message or leave a comment. Is there anything else we want to share or say?
No.
Okay, then we will see you next time.